What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how's it going, bud?
It's going, man. Another week in sports. Had to add to the wall of dead. Today,
Yeah.
Tebow, he's alive. He's not up there with Kobe, but it looks like his football career is dead. He was cut today, and he actually announced it before anybody else did, which
Right.
was very Tebow thing to do. And he didn't quit. That's the biggest thing. He came at it. He went through OTAs and the Jacksonville Sun. He went through one of the hottest heat waves in the last like 5-10 years. And he dealt with it. He didn't gripe. He didn't moan. He didn't groan. Like Urban said, he was a locker favorite. Everybody likes the guy, but everybody could see he didn't have it in him. But that was known. This is the thing that kind of pisses me off. I know you were just asking how I was doing, but this is another thing that kind of pisses me off about the whole situation. Everybody and their mom could tell that this probably wasn't a position that he could play at 32 years old.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe when he was 25, when he decided he might want to go play baseball. And after the whole shuffling around from organization, Jets to the Patriots and all that stuff, I think it was 25 when that happened. So 25, 26, that would have been the time to really take a year or two and get comfortable with the position and everything. But to give the guy a month and a half to get to NFL level of even just being a special teams player, like a good 6-7 of these roster guys are at the end of the day, is asking a lot from a guy. So just to even cut him after week one, knowing he's more than likely not going to be on that 53 man,
Right.
give him a chance to one, get tape, two, learn. Like he's going to have to learn, and to learn from coaches that he's used to, and Urban Meyer and Charlie Strong, and being around those guys. That would have been the best thing for him for another week. Yeah, it's only another week or two. There's only 3 preseason games this year, and the 53-man roster comes really fast this year. I think there's only 3 cuts. No, I think there's still 3 cuts this year. So it comes really fast, and it just stinks that they did it when they did. Don't even let the man get a reception. If you're going to cut him, I told you earlier, cut Tavon Austin. I'm still down with that. Took the only chance to ever have a highlight reel of him catching a pass in a Jaguars jersey from none other than the mullet man himself, Gardner Minshew. It would have been amazing. It was Gardner-esque, kind of shuffle out to the right, sidearm sling, 15 yards down the field to a sitting, waiting, fucking shredded, God-fearing man himself. And here comes the devil. Let me get that. I mean, I don't want to say Taven's the devil, but he definitely took away a chance for me to tell my grandkids about something.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been cool. I didn't watch at that time. I would, like the rest of America, I left after Trevor Lawrence left. But that would have been
I
cool.
almost quit my job to watch that game.
That would have been really cool, but it is sad that he has to get added to your wall of dead. And I guess I might as well go ahead and add to my wall of dead as well. Because Arsenal is no more. We are officially added to the wall. So
dead.
It's time that I create my own wall of dead. We lost to Brentford FC. Brentford never been in the Premier League. They were last at the top tier in 1947 before the Premier League even was created. And we lost 2-0 to them while we decided to sit Aubameyang and Lacazette the entire game because obviously we were trying to get rid of them and we don't want them to get injured. So whether that's Arteta or the front office telling him, hey, you better not let these 2 guys get injured. Either way, that's not how Arsenal does. That's not what we do. That we're one of those 4 teams that always have to win. Doesn't matter what the storyline is or why you're losing. That doesn't matter. You just got to win. And to lose to that team is really ridiculous. I don't know why we were their very first team in the Premier League. That's kind of rude, but you guys got to win 5-1 over some scrub team. I guess they probably expected us to win over some scrub team too, and we just didn't pull it off, but it was sad.
Yeah, well, we've actually been hitting gold again. And not you can keep UCF covered up because they're in no way dead. No, that football program right now is I'm excited for this year and what they're doing in the NFL with all these rookies. Every time I turn on the TV, it's UFC this, UFC that. It seems like with these players coming in, it's awesome. But no, it's crazy. Arsenal's going to end up playing Sunderland and shit. But
Yeah.
I really got to give props to Man U, dude, because there was years where we just were not buying and we were still spending on shit. And we were at the bottom of the barrel many times, the like 7th, 8th. But thank God we never got to 11 and 12. So, I mean, we were down there. We were very concerned, but I've never really had to worry about it, really be too concerned with it. I was just always wondering where the fuck our money went. And you haven't had to worry about that since you graduated high school.
Right. We're about to get a lot of money, so hopefully they use it.
They don't spend money that much anymore. They keep lingering on the past. And now all of Europe is really a step ahead. It's insane. And especially with old Messi in Paris now, it adds a lot of pressure for Arsenal to try to do something. And it shows the Premier League that they got a lot to fight for right there now.
Yeah.
Like Paris is right there. Well, no, it's on the left side. Oh yeah, that is the left right there.
Because we're so bad, that's why I'm sporting my slightly too small Thierry Henry Invincible shirt, because I had.
So could you? I was just thinking, could you imagine a Netflix like think of the Sunderland Netflix series?
Yeah,
but it's for fucking Arsenal, bro. That is growing up.
I don't think they'd be able to do that because the city would be on fire. I'm not sure if our fans would be as friendly about it as Sunderland fans are. So,
well, I mean, there's hope. Man U is showing there's hope. And if you guys are getting money, Man City is showing that there's hope in that as well. Just spend the shit out of your money.
Hopefully we spend our money because, yeah, I mean, Lacazette might bring a little bit, but Aubameyang is going to bring superstar money. So whatever people want to buy him out, if it's Barcelona, which is where I don't know how money in soccer works because Barcelona comes out with saying they're like $1.6 billion in debt. And then it comes out saying they want to buy Aubameyang from us. So I don't really understand how they're able to do stuff, but I hope they do because they'll spend a lot of money for him.
Yeah, I'm a little pissed off that Messi went to PSG because they were looking to get a Pogba off our hands, and that's not happening now.
Oh, did you see what might happen though? Rumor mill, obviously nobody actually knows. They're saying Mbappe might leave to try to create room for CR7 to have Neymar, Messi, and CR7 together.
That'd be dumb. That'd be dumb.
It'd be fun.
That'd be the LA Lakers thing to do.
Yeah.
But why would you get rid of Mbappe? I mean,
you don't like
he's a choke artist. So. He's a choke artist, but that's literally like replacing Jason Tatum for LeBron right now. Like if you have LeBron on a 3-year contract, which is probably what they would probably get Ronaldo on, and then you have Jason Tatum on a 7-year contract, why the fuck would you just flip those two? There's no reason for it. They're growing. Mbappe's been in the league for 8 years now because he started when he was 15.
Yeah.
Like it's insane the kid's still growing. He's like 24 now, 23, 24. I would not. That's a dumb thing to do just for a year, 2 years.
He has World Cup experience. He has all of it. So
you have 3 more years of Messi. I think he signed a 3-year contract, 2 or 3 year. You have 4 of Neymar and Bob, and unless they do some shady ass shit like that to him, he's there for life. He's a lifer. I don't know if Neymar is just because when he gets older, he's definitely
and because he's not French, so it doesn't matter as much.
He's going to chase the money. He's going to chase the name and be able to get as much money as he can until he's 45 years old and leaves the MLS. But Mbappe's a lifer. He's going to be able to play in that league until he's 35, 40 years old and retires.
Yeah, he came up through the system. He's the best player on the best team in his home nation. So I can definitely see him staying for a long time.
If they were to do some shit like that, that would be crazy. That would be absolute crazy. And I could definitely see Barcelona doing something like that.
For sure.
But I don't really see PSG doing that.
They're going to do whatever helps win the Champions League because that's the one thing they're missing. They win the French league every year.
But they would have been done that. They would have been done that.
They should have been done that.
They would have done it 4 years ago. whenever they knew they were getting fucking Neymar Jr. They would have been done some dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
They were not in the sweepstakes whenever Messi said last year that he didn't want to be a part of Barcelona again. You didn't hear anything
Right.
about PSG. It was more Man City than anything. It was Man City or bust. Man
Yeah.
City or stay is all you heard. So it's just not. I'm surprised they did it. And if they were to do something like that to Mbappe, I'd be very, 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 very surprised.
Yeah, no, I think they
And
just want to win the Champions League, and Mbappe, in my opinion, gives them the best chance to do that.
and I
But
think that city would kind of catch on fire
if it's about
they
making
got rid
money,
of
though,
Mbappe.
I don't know. If it's to bring in Ronaldo, though, there's a lot of Ronaldo fans around the world, and the people that would pay to see him play with Messi would be
What
pretty
is
ridiculous.
Juventus done?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Same thing PSG's done.
Exactly.
So
It's not gonna help that much. Is fucking just put the three-headed monster in. Fucking win every fucking tournament and every single thing you go into for the next 18 months. Give these guys their billions of dollars, and you guys take in billions of dollars in trophies, and just be happy. You don't need CR7. And CR7 definitely doesn't need PSG. He doesn't need that pressure. He's chilling
he
right
has
now.
pressure. He has the Portugal pressure. Like he's lived with that pressure his entire life, and Portugal still hasn't done shit. So he's had to carry
It's been 3 years, 4 years now since he made the switch over to Juventus.
Yeah.
I'm such an American. But and it's at first it was really good. They were winning their little local tournaments and shit, but they haven't been able to do internationally what they thought they were going to be able to do. And he's still stuck with them. He feels at home. He was always at home with them in spirit. So it is what it is. He's more on the
he's
Portugal
definitely an
club
Inter
side.
Miami player waiting to happen. He's gonna come.
Bro, that
play
would
for
be
those
amazing. That would be so amazing. That field is 48 minutes away with no traffic, an
Nice.
hour and 48 minutes away with traffic.
Yeah, that would be
But
cool.
that would be sick. That would be absolutely sick.
That's what's gonna happen. He's definitely, it won't be anytime soon because he's still making big bucks, but he will retire in the MLS, and I think it's gonna be with Miami in a few years, probably like 3 or 4 years. That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see. So let's shift our gears real quick since we are talking about soccer, and let's move over to the MLS. We haven't brought them up at all this season.
Do we have to talk about them?
And there's a reason we haven't, but I did want to touch while we're on soccer. The MLS sucks. All of our favorite teams suck. LAFC is just playing really, really poorly right now.
Actually, the MLS season has been pretty fucking great.
Yeah, LAFC is just pulling the Red Sox, pulling the Man United, the Arsenal now. They just don't want to spend the money. We've got so much allocated money that we've gotten from giving people away. We got some from Vermeer. We still have Walker Zimmerman money that we haven't used from 2 years ago. And we're about to get B-Rod money, probably Diego Rossi money one day. And we're just holding on to
Rodriguez in the other day was like crazy.
It's
I
bullshit.
did not expect him to be in. I didn't expect him to get pulled when he did. But yeah, it is dumb. To put it in layman terms, it's literally like having like getting Pippen in the G League and bringing him up and just kind of showcasing them so you can get rid of them instead of bringing in his talents. I wouldn't say we have any Jordans. We have a Charlotte Jordan and Vela who's doing the best he can. His body is beat up. It's not what it was last year. It's not what it was 2 years ago. He's getting beat up. He limps around like crazy. He's definitely shying away from contact. Not shying away from contact, but he looks to fall more than he looks to challenge now. Right. And I don't like to see it, but it does suck. I see it. I'm glad you see it as being a fan of the team more so than I am, but it's more of a showcasing for these guys, all these young dudes. You got the Moose coming out in the 53rd minute, right, just to showcase some dude who isn't going to be on the team in 2 months. It sucks, but that's what you do when you're in last place. And
hey, we're not in last place.
Oh, they're not in last place in the West anymore?
I don't think we've ever made it all the way to last place.
They were in last place in the West when the Atlanta game started the other day. At least on the script.
We were in the playoffs earlier. We're 8th right now. We're one spot out of the playoffs, tied in points. with
Oh, well, when
Portland.
they showed the West standings, they showed East.
They
and
probably
West.
showed playoff standings then,
Oh,
because
probably.
Austin has been last place forever. They suck.
But yeah, it's just it's a shitty year. But it's all to the organization, and I can only imagine how old Bob is right now. He can't be happy too much, and he's been a lot
Probably
quieter
on his
this
way
year.
out just for the sheer fact that he's old. I can't imagine he wants to keep rebuilding these teams.
Yeah.
That's he did his job. He's rebuilt it or built it from the ground up. And if they're not going to try to win and they're going to try to throw another rebuild project on him, he's probably going to be like, meh, I'm good.
Well, have you noticed too? He's a lot quieter this year. Like every time the camera looks at him, he's just kind of sitting there with his arms folded, watching
Yeah.
more so than pointing and yelling.
Yeah, it's really sad. But hey, we get to watch our best players in the skills challenge still. We get to watch Vela and Chicharito team up against Mexico, which is going to be fun. Chicharito, as much as we hate the Galaxy, Chicharito is actually playing a lot better than he was when they originally signed him. And so that'll be fun to watch him and Vela go up against Mexico.
And I mean, you got to be proud. You kind of got used to a little bit of a higher than normal standard to start, but you have to be proud of a new organization in any sport in America. You guys had a great start. It doesn't ever happen. Even with teams transforming, the Supersonics used to be really good, went to OKC, tried, couldn't do it, got beat by the Heatles, dismantled. So like it's really hard to start out really from the ground up doing great. So it's a pat on the back for Bob if this is his ride out. You got to give it to Vela to be able to get these guys up to standard, to be able to get these Atuestas, all these young guys, these freaking shit. I have his shirt. Rosies, getting all these guys ready for the moment and then the high pressures. And that really has to do a lot with Vela, I believe. So it sucks that it kind of is going downhill fast, but it doesn't happen. I mean, unless you're the Jaguars with the 98, 99 seasons, but that shit doesn't happen. So you got to be happy for it and hope to God that they learn that they need to spend money to be able to win. And it's now or never to jump the Galaxy. The Galaxy aren't shit. They just spend a lot of money on Chicharito, still aren't shit. So it's the Galaxy's time to take over LA and be the team that everybody wants to go to.
I'm thinking about taking a personal day from work next Tuesday. I don't know that I can because it's a training week for me. But the skills challenge,
missed a promotion, man.
I don't care about the actual
Congrats,
game
by the way,
on Wednesday. Oh, thank you. Because going to a game against Mexico, no offense to Mexico, but it is not a fun place to be to cheer against Mexico. Even when you're on American soil, it's a tough place to be. I've cheered against Mexico before in live in California, and it's not easy. But the skills challenge is $25. It's next Tuesday at Bank of California at LAFC Stadium. So I'm thinking about maybe I can cut out early a little bit and get up there. But we'll see.
Let them know now.
Well, the problem is it's my trainer works in Phoenix and she's going to be there all week training. So I don't know that I'll get to, but we'll see. But anyways, the skills challenge will be fun. The season, we still have a chance to turn it around if they tell Bob he can actually try to win and get him some talent. But it's been rough. But we talked about soccer too long because we don't care. Jason Sanford, I know you're the biggest bandwagoner that we have. So New England Revolution are trying to set records. I don't even think he has a soccer team, so he's probably jumped on board the New England Revolution up there in Boston. And
he sucks. He really sucks. Like I'm just starting like, I mean, hey, Jason, your kid is absolutely adorable, but bouncing around in Red Sox shit, I've never heard you. We never bonded over being Red Sox fans before.
He wasn't at that point in time.
Not once. So I mean,
hey, he's soaking up the hometown. You know, at least
keep it on your kid.
Hometown.
Keep it on your kid.
At least he's choosing the hometown teams. He's not like selling out for the Yankees or somebody.
But no, yeah. I miss that guy.
Yeah, me too. But
put up the three, just shoot the three.
Shouts to New England. They're playing really well. They did it the right way. So let's move on. Football did happen. Obviously, it's still the preseason. We don't care too much. You can't overreact over the first preseason game where Tom Brady threw 2 passes. And I didn't even know that he threw 2 passes because he didn't start the game. I don't know when he went in. But he threw 2 passes, apparently, at least in the stat sheet. But the 5 quarterbacks, the 5 first-round draft picks, they all got to play. And they all, for the most part, look pretty good enough that big sports media are overreacting to say this is the best quarterback draft class of all time.
It will be.
It very well could be. I think the best one right now is 83 or something, that with John Elway, and I think they have like 3 Hall of Famers come out. So all this year would have better than 3 Hall of Famers. And if the first preseason game was any indication, they're going to have that. But let's start from the top, I guess. Trevor Lawrence, obviously he's your guy, but he was also the first pick, so we'll start there. He didn't get to play too much. It was 2 series, maybe 3 series.
3 series,
and but he looked
2.
good. He had some zip
3.
on his throws.
I think it was 3 because the first one went 3 and out.
No, he got that 3rd down conversion, that nice out pass.
Was that on the first?
To Marvin Jones. I think that was the first series.
I think that was the second series, because the first series was the 3 and out. The set came on 3rd down where he fumbled it, scooped it back up. But that in itself, great awareness. Awareness. One, he saw the pressure coming, tried to spin move instead of ducking. Right. Minshew would have ducked.
He ran into his own player, though.
Minshew probably wouldn't have been in the pocket at that point in time, but Minshew would have ducked whenever it came. So for him to have the awareness to spin once the guy's hand came down, to look down, grab the ball, and just at that point in time to tuck it, that's a great veteran move. But we talked about it a little bit before. He's still got the college clock. It's been a point of emphasis in training camp for him. Once you get to the fucking peak of your setback, 1, 2, 3, drop, set, jump, bam. I got to be out, or drop, set, jump, out. You got to move. You got to extend the play. You can't just continue to look. Or you have 380-pound guys who are on a 4.9 40 who are going to rip your neck apart, which almost happened the first play. Happened again in the second series. But that extended play to Marvin Jones, breaking his route, going down towards the sideline, was a great throw, great catch. It was good to see. We found out our guy Little, that I shouted out a couple weeks ago from OTAs, something's going on with him. He might not be around until the start of the season, but he's got a guaranteed spot. He's been ridiculous. But I wanted to see him, especially with this new tackle to tackle, or tight end to tight end rule with the cut blocks. I'm excited to see. They're going to be moving these guards and linemen out to the tackles or out to the tight ends, because it's linemen cannot chop within. It's nothing. Tight ends. Tight ends, so they're going to slide them. So they're going to be sliding, and Little is one of those guys who's going to be able to slide out and help out and do all that stuff. We tried Tebow, didn't work. He got shedded with a little, excuse me, and which was the second blocking play he had. The first one, he blocked the guy. He did it. He did his job. He blocked him. But it looked like me and Pop Warner trying to block a guy. And I was scared as fuck going up against guys. I hated running the ball. Hated blocking guys coming out of the backfield. Hated it. So, I can feel his pain. And going up against professional athletes, even guys in preseason who are 4th, 5th round selections that are playing in the 3rd quarter of these games.
Right.
They have been doing this for a very long time. Hungry. They were the guys in Pop Warner who were just manhandling everybody. They were the guys on their high school football team. There might have been the 5-star guy on their team because they got their parents moved to a good football school to where they can get shown and stuff. But they still were the best player on their team.
Right.
These guys, but more than likely they were. And they ended up going to Bowling Green and shit like that. And he got thrown by these guys, these 20-year-old dudes who are just men. But for the most part, I'm excited. Zach Wilson did good. Justin Fields, he's making it look like it's always been him and Trevor since high school, since senior year. Him and Trevor. It's always been them two. And when Justin went to Georgia and then went to Ohio State, everybody's like, ha! Trevor's the guy. And he's just in there steady at Clemson. And then this last year at Ohio State with Justin Fields, he kind of set the bar a little high.
Right.
God damn it, did he make it higher in that first preseason. Dude, he killed it. I mean, I could have hit that tight end. Jesse James.
Oh
Shout
yeah,
out Jesse
that was
James. Jesse James still in the league, playing preseason 1. I'm sorry you had to play in the preseason 1 game. But shout out to him, man. But yeah, that was a wide open. Shout out to their offensive coordinator getting that in. And he had a lot of time. Like,
well, he
their
made a lot of
offensive
time, a lot of those plays, which is
and
his purpose.
and that rushing
So,
touchdown
yeah.
was spot on with what he's able to do. And
Yeah.
he looks comfortable. He looks just as comfortable as he did when he was in the spring game of Georgia when he never played again.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, just to round off, you said Wilson played pretty well. He's definitely looks like more of a pocket passer. He doesn't do much, but he had really good zip on his throws. The windows are a little bit bigger in preseason, but he had to zip a few in, looked pretty good across the middle, leading his receivers and stuff like that. I don't remember which quarterback was actually 4th picked. I think it was Trey Lance, right? Yeah, because Mac went way later. So Trey Lance looked like he's going to have
pick?
Fields,
He
right?
traded up to 3.
Or Trey
Fields was like the 16th pick by
and
Chicago.
then Mac was last, right?
Yeah,
in the first round.
I think Mac
Or
was,
near.
no, I think it was 13, 16. Yeah. Fields was 13 to Chicago. Mac was 16 to the Patriots.
Okay, so anyway, Trey Lance looks like he's going to be a Sports Center kind of quarterback, at least for the first couple of years. Because if you watch Sports Center, he was the best of the 5 just because he had an 80-yard touchdown pass. But if you actually watched the game for the drives he was out there, he had a lot of bad plays, a lot of bad decisions. He's trying to figure out when to use his athleticism, which, as you talked about, Justin Fields already seems to understand it. Trey Lance, because he probably went to a smaller school, it's harder to know because he was just miles ahead of people. He didn't have to play in the Big Ten. He's not understanding when he needs to run. And he took a couple of stupid sacks, but he'll probably figure that out and look good too. And then to round it off,
really quick on Trey Lance, he looks like the guy they're calling the Trey area. The last time you've seen this much hype was in Colin Kaepernick, and he is Colin Kaepernick 2.0, going to a really good organization who really embraced Colin Kaepernick. And unfortunately, the NFL didn't embrace what he stood for.
Right.
But Trey Lance is really going to be able to go and show what Cap had on the field and help them out. And in that offense, it's going to be really fun to watch. It's going to be really fun to watch. And if anybody on here does fantasy, that's definitely a sneak pickup, a 10th round. I already got all my running backs, receivers, tight ends. I don't need a second kicker. Let's take a third quarterback, second quarterback, and let's take Trey Lance because he's definitely going to be starting after a couple weeks.
Yep.
If Jimmy doesn't get hurt, they're going to see that they have more with Trey Lance right off rip. Right. It's just going to happen. It's the best case scenario other than Zach Wilson. He has fucking Joe Flacco he has to beat out. But I think Trey's going to be able to beat out Jimmy G really quick. If not in training camp, if not in preseason, they're going to see real quick in that NFC West that the defense is not going to be able to hold them up, and they're going to have to go with a guy who's able to be a Swiss Army knife and do anything possible. And that fan base is going to be really excited and have his back because that's the last time they shined since we were kids watching them boys. It hasn't happened since 2011, 2012, whenever they made it they made it to the Super Bowl.
They had the hero run all the way to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and they have that in Trey Lance. They have the same body, the same assets, the same kind of culture-driven guy.
Yeah.
So that's
I think
definitely
it's
the
going
right
to
team
be,
to go to.
And no knock to San Francisco because it could totally work, but I think it's going to be another Alex Smith, Pat Mahomes kind of deal where they know that the backup quarterback is better, but because he's young, they want to ride out. They're going to ride out Jimmy G as long as they are winning. And it happened with Alex Smith. As soon as Kansas City wasn't winning anymore, they said, all right, we got to go with the talent at this point. But if Jimmy G can keep them winning, he'll be fine. But as soon as they start to drop some games, like you said, when they're dropping this highly paid Seattle players come rushing in on his head, he's going to get to be the guy.
Yeah, I think Jimmy G is going to lose it quick. He's either going to get injured or he's going to get a lot of sacks. So there's only 3 preseason games this year, and a lot of teams had a lot of people, a lot of first team people suit up this week. We had like all of our offensive linemen on for the first 2 possessions. So this week is definitely going to be the what is it called?
I don't know
The
what it's
dress
called.
rehearsal.
Oh, yeah, because
Whatever
normally
the
it's
hell
the
they
third
call it.
preseason game.
Yeah. So this is going to
So
be what it's going to look like this coming up week. So we'll see more on how San Francisco is, but I definitely think among all, obviously Trevor Lawrence is going to be the guy that starts. It's usually
Zach
if you're
Wilson will be the
drafted number
guy.
one, yeah, Zach Wilson, I alluded to Joe Flacco isn't going to be the guy, but Trey Lance is going to be the first guy. I called it last year with Justin Herbert, so you guys might want to fucking listen to me this time. Trey Lance is going to be the first guy to start, to take the position away from the starting quarterback. What was Justin Herbert last year? Like the 6th or 7th pick, and everybody thought I was
Yeah,
stupid.
and he was like the third quarterback taken. And
Yeah, so it's going to be Trey this year. It's going to happen fairly quickly. I'm thinking week 3, week 4, they're going to realize that they're going to need more help because their offensive line isn't what it used to be, and they don't have Bruce Staley sitting there just fucking helping the offensive line.
Yeah. So before we get to a real quarterback battle, what do you think about Matt Nagy still saying that Justin Fields is in real competition? He might not be the starter.
That's what he has to do. They didn't give Andy Dalton $2 million. They gave him a pretty penny. So that's what he has to do. I guarantee you that's what the GM and the organization is telling him to say whenever he goes to reporters and stuff. But Justin Fields is doing what he has to do. Just leave it on the field. You can't control what they say. You can't control the narrative. What you can control is what you show on that field. And he's going to continue to show that when he comes in probably the second half next week, because the first team is probably going to have the whole half. He's going to come in the second half and make that score 0 to 10, 7 to 10, then 14 to 10,
lot better than
then
Andy
17 to
Dalton,
10. And he's going to score 2 touchdowns and put the team in enough position to get a field goal and win 17 to 10, because the defense on the Bears from top to bottom, that team is good. Like that team is really, 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 really good. So yeah, it's gonna be really quick. It's not gonna take any time. Andy Dalton's gonna be the backup quarterback. He's been a backup quarterback his whole life. He just happened to have 3 really good wide receivers,
and he got to play on a team that
fucking tight end and Tyler Eifert. And he also had a great defense, like at all times. But to have 3 number 1
as long as they were out of jail,
like from the 32nd team to the 15th team, any one of those 3 receivers are going to be the number 1 team.
Right.
And then you get up to the Devontae Adams, who was a rookie back then, the Crabtrees back then. They might have to fight per position over them, but any of them would have been a number 1, and he just took the fuck off when he was given the chance to. 3,500 passing yards, 25, 40 touchdown seasons every single year, not too many interceptions. Andy Dalton's not bad, but he's not a championship winning quarterback. He's shown that.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better. But let's talk about the actual. I think Cole wants to leave. The actual QB battle for the rookie quarterback, and that's Mac Jones. Him and Cam Newton, and Belichick always tries to keep his cards close to his chest, but it seems like it's actually 50-50. It's a real battle, and neither player really played bad in their first preseason game. Cam looked like he was doing okay, and then Mac came out and continued to lead the team there. So what do you think's happening up there in Foxborough?
It's going to be Cam, but you have to think Bill, Matt, they're licking their chops. Josh, right? That's their
McDaniels name.
They're licking their chops. They're definitely seeing a Tom Brady 2.0 and Mac Jones. He's the guy for Foxborough. He's going to be the guy in New England, but Cam's cheap. I mean, so is Mac, but so I don't think the risk is big in them making the switch, which I think makes this the quarterback battle in the preseason, which shines over the Jameis Winston Taysom Hill argument in New Orleans. We'll see that on Monday against the Jaguars, which really will answer a lot of questions there, but Jameis looked good. But anyways, yeah, that's definitely the quarterback battle right now. They didn't give Cam the opportunity too much to show a lot. I mean, he was great last year. He was fan-fucking-tastic in the MVP votes, and then all of a sudden, he can't smell, he can't taste, he gets COVID, comes back, and he's just not able to pull it back together, and they suck. I think they ended up with, 7-8 wins last year, and they were 5-1 to start with his hot start. So, yeah, it sucks, but everybody right now, and that's why this quarterback class looks like it could be the best all time, because all of these teams look like they have a guy Not a
Mhm.
lot of people get guys in the NFL when it comes to the quarterback position. They have guys that they have to kind of trim and work towards. That's why Andrew Luck was so fucking amazing. That's why Peyton, when he came out, was the guy. There's more than just one we're
Right.
seeing. We all knew Trevor Lawrence was obviously the guy that was going to be number one, but all these other dudes that maybe weren't the greatest, even Justin Fields, who just kept going doop, 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 doop down the draft chart. They're all showing that they could end up being the guy for their organization. And most of these organizations have everything to build around. The Bears, the Patriots, we all know. It just takes a good quarterback for them to be in contention for fucking 20 years.
Sorry, I was getting confused because apparently there's a fourth Antetokounmpo brother. I know we're not talking about basketball yet, but I didn't
That's
know
weird.
that. But yeah, no, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft, and it's going to be a matter of time. But Cam definitely deserves to start, in my opinion, because like you said, last year he was looking so good, and they started him for a reason, and they're going to continue to start him. I think he'll get the bulk of the snaps this coming up preseason game, and we'll see from there. But let's shift to basketball. Summer League is officially over. It was officially crap. We can talk about that, at least in my opinion. And I guess they're just trying to get the gear back because there's still a shortened off season this season as well. But we did get to see some of the best players play before they all get shut down, like they do every summer league. But all of the good players look good. But then there were the guys like Peyton Pritchard for the Celtics. There were a couple of G Leaguers that were not the drafted G Leaguers, but actual G Leaguers. They looked pretty good. And even in the game today, Davion Mitchell, who was the big star, he's still good. He got a lot of passes. He plays amazing defense. That's where he has calling card, but he wasn't shooting well. And then these like four dudes that were all like G Leaguers came out and just carried the load, and the Kings won easily against the Celtics today. But that's just what we were seeing in this summer league is superstar performances from players that are probably going to be superstars. Davion Mitchell had his chance, just not the final game, sadly, but he's been playing great all year or all preseason. Cade Cunningham had one game where he shot 7 of 10 or whatever from three, looked good. Jalen Green looked good against everybody before he hurt himself and got shut down a little bit early. Mobley looks good on the defensive end. He's got some work to do on the offensive end, but that's exactly what they thought. Jalen Smith, who wasn't drafted this year, was drafted last year and never played. I think is still a scrub, but he was putting up big numbers, which is what you expect in a second year in summer league. But a lot of good performances, a lot of good players. Nobody really looked like a bust coming out of summer league, and that's super exciting because normally we have a bust. We have a Darko Milicic. We have somebody that's just like, this guy is not going to cut it. We didn't have that this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, we got a T's and P's. The Suggs got injured. Don't know what's going to happen with that right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. And I feel like the four guys that come out of the G League, don't know all their names right now. Obviously, Green's the big name, but they shined and they did their thing, and they showed that they have the intricates and the experience to be able to go against these guys coming out of college. I mean, we had so much scoring, so many guys coming out and just making it look like these AAU teams from back in our day. I mean, nowadays they're more like they're able to go out and get different guys.
Now they're all-star games.
Back in our days, you had to stay confined within your area, and you had one dude going in. This is kind of like what it looked like. And for 4 teams, it was the AAU dude who just had so much more experience, so much more teaching than these college guys. And it showed, getting 30, 45 buckets. Green going up against the number 1 pick, showing, hey, I got a big chip. I should have been number 1. Splash in his face. 3 inches shorter than the dude. Like 6-inch wingspan difference, just splash in his face. When I say in his face, I think they high-fived right whenever he flicked his wrist. But it just shows, and I think it's going to put more pressure on the collegiate system. Hey, this G League, it's real. And just 1 year there will make all the difference. And all these coaches who are busting their ass, working their way up to being an NFL assistant, to being an NFL coach. Not just these guys whose pops was a coach at Palm Beach Atlantic. So now they're getting their shot at FIU and they did good there. So now they're going to be an assistant in Alabama State Brigham Young University or some weird shit like that. And it's starting to change. And I definitely feel like this summer league, apart from the whole point differential bullshit they did to speed up the tournament,
Right.
like you alluded to, it was dumb as fuck. I'm glad you didn't buy tickets because I probably would have ended up buying tickets and we would have wasted
Yeah,
our
I would
money
have
of
been pretty
4 days of
pissed.
shit. Yeah, it was just it wasn't the summer league this year. So hopefully they get back to that. They will get back to that.
They will
with
once the
normal
schedule's
offseason
fixed.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it showed the college system, hey, this is where it's at. And oh, by the way, they're going to be able to make money. And now college is like, oh no, they can make money here on the likeness. Basketball isn't where it is in the NCAA. There's going to be 4 or 5 guys who can make as much money as the USC dude who hasn't even made $1 million yet.
Right. That
There's
high
not
school
going to be
quarterback.
anybody. Yeah, there's not going to be anybody who's able to make the money that the football players are able to make. It just isn't what it is. Unless the fucking LeVar spits out another kid, there's not going to be any of these people doing it.
And the thing is, you can make that
Bronny's
money
gonna
in
be
the
able
G
to.
League as well, and you're still making $30,000 a year, or whatever.
Bronny can get a $5 million contract right off rip.
Oh yeah.
You
But
can go
I'm
into the
saying
G
you can
League
get that in
and-
the G
yeah.
League. You can still get sponsors in the G League.
Yeah,
and
you
then
can go in the G League and make $500 in a year, which is life-changing money for a lot of fucking it. For me, it would change my fucking life if you gave me a $500 check for 8 months of basketball, or 8 months of bartending or serving my profession.
Yeah, for anything.
But yeah, for sure. But just it's going to be interesting and going to be fun to see, and I'm excited for it, especially with the likeness and all that shit coming out of the NCAA.
And
to
with
see
all
what
these
route these players
HBCUs
take.
that are getting, it's going to look a lot more like AAU. You're still going to have the Gonzagas and the Dukes and those guys, but then it's going to thin out with people wanting to go to Campbell and stuff like that. It's going to get pretty good. And did you see that one-armed dude that's like the talk of TikTok or Instagram or whatever it shows the videos? He got
Ball his life, kid.
Yeah, he got a scholarship offer from Tennessee State. So there's a chance he might be playing college ball. I thought he was just going to be a video hype guy, like that De La Haye type stuff. But maybe he'll actually get a chance to do something.
Bro, that kid actually is like the truth. He goes up.
Yeah,
he
he is,
went up against Tyreek and shit. He's an athlete. But the fact that if I was that kid, he's like 24 years old. 25, 26 now.
Yeah.
But the kid's athletic as fuck. If I was him, I would stop the YouTube videos for about 6-7 months, go to Haggerty High School's practice fucking field goal, and hope to God you don't get fucking caught for trespassing, and just do work for 6-7 months and go on this fucking football field and make some money. Like, he's too focused on his YouTube. He had a chance in Canada. Too focused on YouTube.
He's probably making a shit ton of money on YouTube though. Just to be fair. I don't know what he's making, but
we better shut up about football because that's my dream. That's my dream.
Yeah, that's the thing. They just keep it going for so long. But anyways, there's not really much else to talk about. Do you know of did you watch the since we haven't talked about it in a while, did you watch the Cyril Gahn Derek Lewis fight or the highlights or anything?
Yes.
It was a masterclass though.
Gahn's the shit. Derek Lewis is a trooper, but I hate how everybody's coming out saying what we've been talking about for the last 3 years. Derek Lewis is a man's man. He's not a fighter. He's not a professional fighter. The fact that he was able to get this fight shows that he is a man's motherfucking man, and he deserved it. Yeah, he is the guy at every bonfire party that will fuck anybody up that goes over the fucking line with their elbows and beer pong. Yeah, like you don't fuck with this guy, and it was awesome. But for everybody to come out and say that's why you have to work on your experience,
your cardio, and your footwork.
You have to work on being a fighter. You can't just be a brawler. Derek Lewis isn't going to change. No. The beast ain't going to change for nobody, especially one of the best fighters coming up right now.
Yeah, but now we got Cyril Gahn, who might be the most athletic heavyweight that we've ever seen as far as just footwork and movement and what he does. Is going to get to go up against the true knockout king. He got a practice run with Derek Lewis, but Francis Ngannou is a different beast altogether. And it's going to be cool to see because obviously Ngannou and Derek Lewis get compared to each other because they're knockout guys. But Ngannou is much more cardio, much more athletic. And he should be able to catch Cyril Gahn, but Cyril Gahn's obviously more athletic than him. And that's going to be a heck of a fight to see if that same strategy that he used is going to be able to work, because Derek Lewis didn't have an answer. But now Ngannou's camp is going to be able to watch that video, see what he did, and maybe formulate an answer. And I think that's going to be a hell of a fight.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see. Definitely a lot better than Derek Lewis on the ladder.
Yeah.
But all credit to Derek Lewis. He's not going anywhere. He's going to keep getting these 3-4 contention fights and keep knocking these motherfuckers out. But yeah, when you get to somebody like Gahn, you're going to get gone. It's going to happen when you're a Derek Lewis. That's why I'm really excited for this fight, like very fucking excited. And I would love for John Bones to come in and be like, yo, I want to get a crack at this dude too, because that would be a great fucking fight.
Yeah, it would.
Now, and it would be an even better fight 5 years ago. Like, just think of these two instead of DC. Think of Gahn and these two's going at it 3-4 times.
Yeah,
that would be a fucking epic fight in John Bones' fucking prime. That would be awesome. This dude is a scary fighter. He's not just swole. He's not just fast. He's not just a striker. He's not just a wrestler. He's one of the most round fighters I've seen come out of the UFC in such a heavy division too.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's a cheat code. Whenever UFC 5 comes out, he's definitely the guy I'm using on multiplayer.
Yeah, he's gonna have. He's the all 99, and I know they don't have.
1,000%.
I guess they do have all 99s in a way, but like he's gonna be that guy, and it's exciting to see. But I don't even know what fights are coming up in the future. I haven't really looked at the list, but do you know anything else we can talk about? We could talk about Pat Beverly getting traded if you want, but I don't care about giving him the time of day on this podcast.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looks like he's wanted. Memphis was able to get him knowing they could get a haul for him. Jarrett Culver is a huge land for them.
We'll see how that works.
For them, and bro, Ja and Jarrett is going to be fun as fuck. That 1, 2, 3 of them young motherfuckers. Dylan, is that his name?
Dylan Brooks,
little fresh air. Yeah, Dylan Brooks was a little perm.
Yeah.
That 3, they could set them up. They could set them guys up, and if they're
if Triple J comes back and actually is healthy,
like that's a really good young squad. All they needed was defense, and Jarrett Culver gives them all of it, all of it.
Why do you think?
And what would Pat Bev do? What would Pat Bev do for the Grizzlies?
Nothing.
Give them 17 minutes.
Nothing.
But with every team he's been on, especially with the Clippers, he was able to give them big time defense minutes. Big time minutes is 26 plus minutes. You're getting big time minutes. You're playing 7+ minutes in the fourth quarter. He's not doing that with Memphis.
No.
Ja's not coming off the court. Dylan Brooks isn't coming off the court. They just got rid of the fucking Jason Garrett Allen, whatever his name is, the old Jacksonville dude. Just to give up time. Yeah, Grayson Allen. Just to give up time for Dylan Brooks so he can get back on the court more. So I feel like them getting Pat was just a trading chip. And
so do you think that Minnesota talked to LA, and do you think LA wanted Bledsoe more, or do you think that Minnesota never even talked to LA and it was all behind the scenes with Memphis in the first place?
I feel like
it was quick.
I don't think they talked to him at all. But how about Eric Bledsoe being a fucking commodity still?
It's because of those biceps, bro. He looks like a motherfucking gangster. He looks hardcore.
Remember when you were excited about Eric Bledsoe?
Yeah. But we also had 5 point guards, I think. And we chose the one that can't play defense as the one guy we would go with. I don't really know why that was the guy we went
Maybe
with.
They're looking at campaign and being like, hey, China works. China fucking works. But that was a very a scalp scratching trade. But Memphis definitely came out with a win on that one. And that team's going to be more exciting to watch now. And they didn't have to spend a penny on it.
How do you think that, just to be fair to Bledsoe, I guess, if we deserve to be fair to him, what do you think he brings to the Clippers? I mean, they didn't have to give up much. Obviously, Pat Beverly, I don't like him much, but he plays good defense. Bledsoe does not. But on the offensive end, Bledsoe's going to be better. And if the claw can be healthy and Paul George can defend the better players, they don't need the Beverly defense from Bledsoe.
Yeah, they don't. And I don't think that's something they needed last year. they needed that scoring. They were able to help. The only thing Pat does is crowd work.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day, he doesn't get stops more than another tier 2 defender will.
Right.
He might get maybe
He'll get a few more technicals
stills
out of the
Yeah,
from
he
the
might
other
get
team.
0.8 more steals a game than Bledsoe's going to in that system, the way they run. He's going to be able to, he's athletic enough to where he's going to be able to help out. Is he the defender Pat is? No. But is he going to get as many techs? No. Is he going to give up as many free throws? No. Is he going to be able to, I mean, this coming year, you're not going to be able to do those non-basketball moves to get fouls anyways, that Pat gave up a lot, but that's not even a thought with Eric Bledsoe. He gives cushion. Once he sees the shot coming up, he does the regular rise up. Oh, hey, but he can come in here, baby. It's okay. We're almost done. Come see daddy.
My baby's in here too, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, bring him. He can come see. But Pat's not going to help out the Clippers more than Eric Bledsoe is at this point in time, because the way the West is right now, the way the Lakers want to get all the old tennis golf course players right now, it is what it is. And sorry, he's so cute. But Eric Bledsoe is going to be able to help that team out way more, because they need to be able to get 115 to 110 to win a game, and not give up 112 to 110 victory to another team because Pat Bev wants to sit there and clap as it gives up a technical.
Right. No, I agree. I think Bledsoe is helpful, and he's got to have some sort of locker room presence or something, because people always talk high on him regardless of what he does on the court. And he's got to play for a lot of teams, so he has experience. He has at least knowledge of what every coach wants to do, probably. So that's helpful. But aside from that,
I feel like for Minnesota, he's going to be able to help out a lot of these young guys at the same time.
Minnesota is beyond repair, in my opinion. I don't think they can do shit.
He's going to be able to help out with the intensity of maybe wake up Cat, D'Angelo, let him know.
That's true. He'll get in space at least.
There's two sides to basketball. Like, just so you guys, just in case you forgot.
That's true.
I know you haven't been around Kobe for a long time. Cat, you've been a little bitch your whole life. But there's two sides to basketball. One of them are defense, and you're about to fucking learn it with Pat Bev in the fucking building.
He'll definitely get up in his grill.
Oh, for sure. That they're definitely going to take a step forward in defense, and I think that's what they were looking for more so. What the fuck are the Timberwolves going to do? Nothing. But to help out that organization, to help out those players to take a step forward as a team for the next 3 to 4 years coming up will help out. And Memphis just they're going to get the 8-7 seed this year off of that trade.
Oh, good for them, as long as they don't take our seed.
The Lakers are going to have to go to fucking Europe and China to find players after all these fucking old motherfuckers break down halfway through the season.
I hope so, bro. I hope so. Yeah, the last thing that I want to talk about.
The Nuggets are dead.
The Nuggets aren't dead.
They're not doing shit. They're looking like the Cavs whenever we tried to LeBron. We're sitting there like
Jokic is still alive.
They're sitting there like, okay, we got LeBron. That's what we go. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We got Jokic. We're good. And what's that going to do? Well, it has.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah.
He has just as many rings as LeBron did in Cleveland in his first stint. It's worked very well.
Yeah, well, LeBron hasn't had the second best player on his team tear his ACL like 3 years in a row.
And do they help? Have they helped?
Jamal Murray helps. What are you talking about?
When he's on the fucking court, other than that, bro, a 3, even moving Tobias from Philly would help that team. Defensive, everything in the West, it would help them amazingly.
They moved Aaron Gordon. You don't think that's going to help them?
No.
Or got Aaron
Did
Gordon.
it? Did it?
Yeah. They just ran into a buzzsaw, bro. Suns in 4. Suns in 4, dog.
Bro, I'm just they need more, bro. They need more.
Yeah.
Russ wanted to leave. Did they go fucking get him? No. Drew was bouncing around last year. Did they go get him? No.
I don't think Denver's they need more. They need help.
Dead.
They need help. And I hope they're dead.
Bro, they're going to be the fucking Eagles of the 2000s for us.
Cool.
Just looking at Donovan McNabb and do better.
Hey, that was my Madden quarterback, though.
Do it.
When I did my dynasty mode, I always tried.
They're going to be like, do it. What are you doing? Why aren't you working? What are you doing? You got Brian Westbrook. What are you doing? We'll get you T.O. Broken leg. What are you doing? Like that's what the Nuggets are doing. They're looking to the Joker. Do it. What do you?
And he's doing it. He's doing it.
He's trying. He's doing literally what he can, but he's gonna go down as another fucking Charles Barkley if he stays with them.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, let's just touch real quick, since it's breaking news, quote unquote, today. The Christmas Day slate is already out. I guess it is August, almost September, but the Christmas Day slate's already out. A lot of the same people. It's the Nets and the Lakers playing each other. The Celtics always get to play on Christmas. The Warriors have been getting to play pretty much all the time. The defending champ always gets to play. And
isn't that stupid though?
What's that? That
the Warriors had to like fight for a fucking playoff. No, I get the Celtics. I get their tradition, and the Celtics are the Celtics, and they're home, right? They're home again, right? If they're not in the Garden, then it's
no. The Bucks are hosting because they're the champs.
That's nah. I get it.
But the Bucks should have hosted the Warriors then in that case. But yeah,
I get it. But the Warriors, they barely made the playoffs last year, dude. No,
yeah.
They didn't make them. They barely made the playoffs.
They made the play-in game thingy and they lost. I think.
True. But that's stupid. That's like giving the Cavs a chance just because they have Kevin Love still.
But hey, they get to play the Suns. Phoenix gets to host. We haven't played on Christmas Day since 2009. We used to play all the time because Steve Nash used to get us 60 wins a year and we were exciting. But we haven't played there since 2009 when we stopped playing defense. And we get to play there again. We get to face the Warriors, who are probably going to be 8-20 at that time because Clay and Draymond and stuff can't get it figured out. And we're going to run through the city with them, get a nice Christmas party, get to hang out. It's going to be really cool because Phoenix is going to be hopping. I think Arizona has a game on Christmas Day. Then the Suns will have their game on Christmas Day. And then, of course, New Year's a week later is the Fiesta Bowl. So whoever gets to be there, it's going to be a party for a whole week. And it's going to be really exciting. And I'm excited as a Suns fan to watch it. I don't know if I'll be able to watch on Christmas anymore. We'll see what people with families actually do on Christmas. But
thank God you guys are playing, because as a Cavs fan, this fucking sucks. You got the Warriors, you got the Celtics, you got the Lakers and the fucking Nets. Like, it fucking sucks as a Cavs fan. So for you guys to get the slate, I'm excited. And it's not a 1 o'clock. It's not a wake up and fucking watch.
It's a good one.
It's a nice time. Get up, get some food in you. Watch some Devin.
I think it'll be while I'm eating lunch, right? Because it's my noon game, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's 3:30.
Yeah,
it's 3:30 this time. So yeah. So I'm excited for it. And then after that, we get to watch the fucking dumbass sellout game that is going to be. And I mean, it's going to be fun. But man, I'm never going to forget 2017 Christmas.
Yeah.
Last play of the game. Kyrie Irving. It's breaking hearts.
Yeah. So that's fun. We'll talk about it more obviously in December when it's coming, but it's exciting to get the nod. It still feels surreal to be good again. It's been a long time since we won 60 games and I'm excited about it. So let's go ahead and get out of here. Do you want to give a final shout out to Tebow? I guess we'll still get to see him on College Game Day, but we'll get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here. But yeah, shout out to Tebow, man. Shout out to everybody. There's a lot more guys than Tebow who are out here trying to make a name for themselves who got cut. And shout out to Urban Meyer, who sat and talked with every single one of those guys. And like it's been a trend for us for about 3 months now. Every single one of these guys fight for what they believe in, fight for what they think is what they need to do, not what they think, what they believe, what they feel is what they need to do. And so they do it. They don't quit. They don't say, there's going to be 95 guys here. There's going to be 53 at the end of it. I know I'm not going to be one of those guys. I'm going to go home. No, they say, I'm probably not going to be one of those guys, but I have to. I'm determined. I'm going to show that I can be one of those guys one day. I might not be there right now, but I'm not going to go home. I'm not going to sit. I'm going to go through the fucking fire. Most people will say, well, you're doing it for no reason. No, I'm not. I'm showing that I will go through fucking fire for no reason. Put me on that line. I will go through fire for a championship. I just went through fire for no reason 4 years ago in Jacksonville. Try me. I will go through fire. I will go through fucking bullets. I will go through anything. And that's what we need to do in life. Every single day we wake up is a blessing. What we do after that, go through the fire, go through the bullets, go through life. If life is nice and casual for you, you better thank your lucky stars and thank God every single night, because that is a blessing that 90% of the world does not get. These billionaires and millionaires, they don't go to sleep restless or restful. They go to sleep
Right.
restless, like a lot of Americans, a lot of everywhere. Just remember, our whole thing we talk about is mostly American sports. America is like up here to what, 150 countries.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the world. So to think of our bottom of the barrel is the top of the top for a lot of countries. So just when you go to sleep, man, just be happy. When you wake up, be happy, because there's a lot of people that are fighting for no other reason to fight the fight and show that they can fight the fight. Like Tim Tebow, he knew he hasn't been a tight end ever in his life. He hasn't picked up a football in 7 years. He's been playing baseball for the last 6.5 years. It is what it is, but God damn it, I'm gonna fight my fight, and I'm not gonna give up until they tell me, please don't come through this door anymore. So keep knocking down the doors, keep knocking down the fucking walls in life, keep going through, believe in what you believe in, and fight for that shit, and be a stud and not a scrub.